All right, hopefully YouTube has caught up by now. Greetings, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and I am triumphantly back along with the party of Heroes Wanted to continue where we left off with the kobolds having just launched a surprise night raid on the party and being driven off, and now Rasillus, Elwyn, and Soggy and Donovan have to decide what they're going to do about resting and whether or not they need to get out of the cave, go pursue the kobolds, immediately after being interrupted with their rest, or what they're going to do here. So go ahead, guys, take it away. As always, since Donovan isn't here, I will be kind of playing them in the background without, contributing too much, as I do not like the
Hang on, I gotta go
DMPC.
quick.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead and take a minute, and Soggy, you can kind of think about what you want to, have Soggy say and do, and we will pick up as soon as Elwyn is ready for you guys to discuss this.
So, are you ready? Because Sogi has the idea of kind of like sending out his familiar to kind of like scout for like and follow the path of the of the one kobold that ran away.
Where is your familiar? Have you been forgetting to drag him along, or did I just not put him on this map?
I think you didn't put him on this map.
Oh, we shall have to remedy that. Oh no, I think I lost him. I thought he was around here somewhere. All better.
Okay, Sogi's going to get his little familiar to scout ahead, like kind of like stealthy scout ahead to see what's going on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now remember, you can't see through his eyes or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so like he can come back and kind of communicate it with you, but like you guys still, you know, um, won't have like the total picture unless, you go. So I'm not going to show you the map. So you're just going to send him ahead and roll for his stealth versus their perception.
Yeah, that's what I.
I just wanted to be clear how it was going to play out.
So how do I roll for my familiar's stealth?
That is a good question. he is basically a snake. So you can just go ahead and roll a d20 while I look up what this snake's stealth is.
Apologies, I'm back now.
Hello.
He got a 15.
Lovely.
What's going on?
So what
Don't
was...
forget to set your chat as Soggy.
Yeah.
So he swims ahead and he finds that further ahead there's more dry areas and tunnels where the kobolds are, and there is a guard set up after they discovered you guys with multiple kobolds.
Oh, that is a lot of kobolds. Thank you, Silis.
You're welcome.
So, Elwin, Donovan, Reese's, what do you think we should do?
Probably proceed with caution would be for the best. Try to stick to the dark as much as we can, I suppose. And if we get spotted, just try to blind them, I guess.
Rasilis, as always, wants to kill all of the betrayer kobolds. Bite their heads off.
We don't need to get into engagement every time, though. Try to avoid as much as we can. I've only got so many arrows.
Yes. But it is... You know what they say about the story. I know of a story about a man who swats 7 in one blow. So maybe we could try that? Soggy could try that?
We could, but we need to focus on big picture. We don't necessarily need to kill everyone and everything.
Yes, yes.
Kill them all.
Yes, but we don't need to set alarms.
No. We don't
So
want
we
someone
should
set off.
probably take them out stealthily.
Stealthily, if we can, try to avoid them as best we can. That's probably for the best right there. Avoid them as best we can. If not, then try to go about it as quickly and quietly as we possibly can.
Understood. There we can find out their plan if they are doing things. So he kind of like gives off a grin and kind of like, and then sort of just, then kind of like just picks up Silverless, and his familiar sort of rolls up around his arm.
Wrapping around your arm like an Egyptian armband, Silas joins you and is prepared to do what you want.
Well, suppose if we have rested well enough.
Well, that's kind of like the question as DM that I was posing was, do you guys want to try to take a short rest or do you want to continue immediately?
Hmm,
This is immediately after the kobold ambush.
I mean, I'm down only really one arcane shot right now, so what I don't. I feel like I can still do just fine with on the two that I have left.
Well,
I'm
and
gonna
then
just rest a
also,
little bit.
you know, hit points.
That's valid point two.
But like I said, I'm not pushing you guys in either direction here. I'm
Right.
I'm just trying to find out what your choice is.
Yeah. I think Elwin will just emphasize pushing on. That's what he's doing.
Well, Racillus is along for the plan, but Donovan, clad in his armor, is going to be hard to be stealthy trudging through the swampy water.
Well, like I said, if need be, we can have Donovan shine his sword as bright as he can and attempt to blind the kobolds with a sudden flash of brightness.
Yeah. Although doesn't he already have his light on? Isn't that why you guys can see? Oh, you have
I
dark
mean,
vision.
yeah,
Soggy has dark vision. Racillus has so really it's only Donovan who can't see. You
yeah.
know, I think Donovan is going to decide that he is not well equipped for this mission and is going to join you guys afterwards at the old mill. It would not be completely out of character for him to you know need some solitude, especially after everything that he's been through. So
Well, Donovan, good luck getting back there, friend.
thank you.
Easy.
I'll see you after.
Of course.
So, shall we go?
Doesn't sound like a bad idea to me.
So, first we should roll for stealth, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to grab all of you guys and move you to the next map because it's right here around the corner.
So, roll for stealth.
Hold on. So here's the corner. You know, it's right down where you guys just were, and then now we're going to the next map. Okay, so now you guys can roll for stealth in order to see how stealthily you have moved into this next area.
I went for good rolls.
Sorry, looking for the lizard folk so I can roll his stealth.
Right. Get you.
All right, so unfortunately, it appears as though Racillus is too large to stealthily move through the swamp, and he ends up making a lot of noise as his big legs splash through the water, unlike Elwin with his elven grace moving through it quietly and stealthily, and Soggy kind of half swimming with his kobold tail, and so Rasillus is making a lot of noise, and you guys can definitely tell.
Well, suppose we should just still crack on all the same, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean the plan hasn't changed. There's not much you can do about it.
Yes.
So you guys spot a giant frog who spots you but sees the large, dangerous looking Rasillus and decides to jump off into the water and hide.
Alright, looks like he didn't want none of this, apparently.
No, he did not.
Looks like there's a path up here to the left.
And over here to the right.
There's a path over there to the right as well.
Oh, no, never mind.
Alright.
So as you guys are heading up that way, right as you reach this choke point, roll for perception.
Not the greatest on my part.
Yeah. So you guys fail to spot a log trap as you step on some underwater rock that loosens the log. It all of a sudden falls down right in your path, blocking your path, and a group of kobolds emerge from the water hurling stones at you.
Where's the log? Like, where are you gonna put the log?
Right across the path right there. The important thing is the kobolds and that path is blocked with the logs until you can like get them out of the way.
Looks like we have kobolds to the rear.
Yep. And so now we're all going to roll initiative.
Soggy with that 22.
Oh, it was a crit too. So I've been playing around with this new house rule for crit initiatives in my other game where you get a bonus action before everybody else acts. Basically like a surprise round almost. And then you go in initiative order from after that. So it's possible for somebody who crit to not be going first, but they still get a bonus action right away to start the round. Oh, and then if they roll a 1, I rule that they basically are caught off guard and don't get an action this turn. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? You want to go with that or you want to just keep it as is?
I would like to go with that.
Yeah, just see how it is.
Okay, well, Soggy, you get a bonus action that you can take either a standard action or a move action with, and then you get your turn.
So Sagi's going to shoot an eldritch. He's going for his action, it's going to be a thunder.
So you're going to shoot an Eldritch Blast right now? Well, don't move then. Stay where you are if you're shooting an Eldritch Blast right now.
Yeah.
All right, so you launch your Eldritch Blast at the nearest kobold. However, it just goes over his head as he was ducking under the water. And it smashes against the pillar behind you, scorching it.
That is warning shot. Do not make me go full magic.
And now you can take your full turn. So you get your move action, your standard action, bonus action.
He's going to cast Thunder Wave.
Thunder! Thunder!
If I'm right, Thunder Wave is a funnel, or is it a circle?
It's a 15-foot square. So it would be 3 squares anywhere touching one of your squares.
Like I could get 2 kobolds?
So that right there, you can put that anywhere where it touches you. So if you wanted to get 2 kobolds, you could get these 2 over here if you move up over here. If you have enough movement to get there. It looks like
Yeah,
you
I
do.
do.
Yeah, it looks like you do.
So yeah. Thunder!
All right, let me
We
roll
should
for the
really do
kobolds.
that.
It has one. I don't know why it's not playing. It has a thunder sound effect. You've heard it before, I thought.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. No, it has that. I don't know why it's not playing. Something's going on. I'm not going to try to fix it right now, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they both make their, or no, the first one makes his save. The second one does not. So he takes 7 damage and is not pushed, but the other one is pushed 10 feet away and takes the full 14. So we're going to rule that the one on the left is the first one. He is going to
Yep.
take 7 damage and be knocked unconscious.
And the other one is just blown to bits.
And dying. And the other one is blown to pieces as he is splattered against the far wall.
And bits falls on like one of the kobolds. Like here, the one right here. I imagine a bit falls on one of the kobolds.
It's just a greenish mist as the kobold is blown to pieces. So now this kobold doesn't have line of sight because of the pillar, so he's got to move first.
I don't think my AC was updated from when you gave me the armor.
Oh no. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Do,
I
do
was just
you
looking at that.
can you do that? Like, do you know what it would be?
It's because you said it would raise it because the base AC with the armor you gave me was 13, so it'd be 17.
Correct. All right, so the kobold hurls a stone at you with his sling, slamming into you for 3 bludgeoning damage, Soggy. Yeah, it's not playing the sling noise or nothing.
Could be a roll trying just acting up.
Ow! That did hurt.
Yeah, take that. And he also hurls a sling at you.
I don't think hurling a bunched up bit of leather is going to do a whole bunch.
Yeah, he uses his sling to hurl a stone at you. So, I think a 16 hits your armor class. Yes, Soggy?
Yeah.
Another stone smashes into you for another 3 bludgeoning damage. These kobolds got good aim.
They got good aim, but they can't hit for nothing.
This kobold tries to sling Racillus. Missing, bouncing off of his spiked shield. This one is going to move up and try to hit Racillus. Hitting him for 6 bludgeoning damage as Racillus turns and says, "You die first." I guess technically second. He did. Not dead, but he's dying, so you guys don't get to see his death save. You don't know if he's going to make it or not. Ooh, this one smashes you hard for 5. Bounces
Ow!
right off your snout, making your nose bleed a little. Hey, look, the elf finally goes. Way to have that elven speed rocking.
Hey, I got that nat 20 last time for that to negate the surprise round in a sense. I'm going to move up to right here, and I can just barely see that one, but I'm going to fire it. Oh, I didn't
You
see any
fired.
differences. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, yeah. Everything at 10 foot takes that by force.
Okay, so you hit the kobold. I'm sorry, I didn't see which one it was on.
It was this one right here.
Okay, got it. And so not only do you hit it for 11 piercing damage, but 5 force damage blows up, dealing enough damage to knock out the other 2 kobolds as they are, um, kind of blown back a little bit. And the kobold in the middle basically just blows up from your arrow. It sticks in its forehead and it's dead just from the arrow sticking in its forehead, but it just kind of stands there alive for a moment. Like your brain is still alive for like 15 seconds even after you get your head cut off. And so with the arrow sticking straight in his brain, he's just kind of dumbfounded and standing there. And then it's like a little timer, just tick, 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 boom, and everything just blows up around him and knocks out the other 2 kobolds.
Alright then. That'll end my turn.
That kobold is dead, dead, dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just before they had encountered you guys, he had been talking with his other kobold companion about how he was dragged out of bed in order to go on guard duty, and could this day get any worse?
Could this take any worse later that day? Exploding arrow to the face.
Yeah.
And also being burst into mist by the sound of thunder.
As I think he's in my space just a little bit.
Yeah, he just kind of shoulders you a little. He's in his battle rage.
Oh, he's a barbarian now.
He's working on it.
He's working on it.
So, well, I mean, if he's gonna be an NPC companion, he might get a level or two in something. So I figured I'd work on the rage and see how it played with you guys, and
I like him.
he's not just gonna all of a sudden pick up a book and become a wizard. So he rushes in.
Sort of like a barbarian sort of character.
Yeah, he rushes in with his heavy club and smashes the kobold over the head, and like you just hear the sickening crunch of his skull as he drops to the ground dying.
That looked painful. Good work, Rosilis.
Thank you. And like I said, this kobold's just standing there dumbfounded, and I'm actually going to rule that watching you guys just like come in and take out 4 of them in the first round, or more than 4, 1, 2, 3, 4,
I think it was
5.
like 6.
Yeah, like you guys are just like dropping fools. So now he's like gonna run away, but like he's still standing there flat-footed because he sucks at his job.
He's like that job. He's like, I didn't want to be here today.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
I was just covering another guy's shift.
Soggy sort of like gives a menacing look as he turns to one of the kobolds and gives a glare. All right, traitor Slips. Tell Soggy what you are planning, or else Soggy will blast you to bits. This will be an interrogation roll, so intimidation.
Yeah, you can roll for intimidate.
Okay. I rolled
He
a
says,
22.
No hurt, no hurt, no hurt. I tell, we worship Great Dragon.
Do you perhaps know where this... Oh, wait, I can't understand him because he's probably speaking in Draconic.
Yes, he is. Well, actually, it's a kobold dialect of Draconic, but yeah. Like how Mexican is not Spanish.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
Or how French, or how Canadian French isn't quite French.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Soggy glares and says, What great dragon? Do you mean like what was the god's name that the lizard folk worship?
Falazure. The Death
Falazure.
Dragon.
Do you mean Falazure? That's what Soggy says to the kobold after he says that.
He is really scared, and he's like, yes, yes, what, yes, yes.
So, yeah, what does he say?
Elwin, roll for insight.
Insight. We shall see if I can... We'll see if...
Soggy sort of gives a confused look and turns to Rosilis as he sort of...
Ouch. Not this.
It is this...
Rosilis says, they lie, they traitors.
Are they traitors or treat? That is the question. Soggy says as he gives a sort of like...
All right, that's way more than 6 seconds.
Yeah. So we're trying to I think it's about we're almost done with this.
This one is intimidated and begging for his life and just agreeing with anything that you say.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of figuring. I was like, you intimidate someone too much and everything, they're not going to give you what you want. They'll just say whatever they think you want to hear. Soggy, I think that they might be worshipping what we're after. The false dragon. Perhaps he knows where it's at.
Yes, let us take him as prisoner. Then he show us. Yes, and we will see if he is truly traitor. Yes.
Quite right. That'll end my turn as I.
Rhesus, could you please hold our our guide to the chamber?
Yes!
So he's going to do a grapple.
Yeah, I know. He's going to use his athletics. And he crits.
Does the kobold even stand a chance?
I mean, no, but we're going to roll anyway to see just how this
Bad.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
The kobold ducks valiantly, but Rasillus grabs down hard on him as he tries to dive under the water and lifts him up with his claws, digging deep into his shoulder, just enough around the neck to let him know that he could have him by the neck, but not enough to be like choking him or anything like that. And he lifts him up and says, "Stay still."
Now then, take us to your god. I imagine the other kobold just runs away after viewing this.
Owen had no clue there was even another kobold over there.
Yep, so the other kobold dips. Give me a 5-minute bio break, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly does he mean by bio break?
Oh, he's just taking a restroom break. It's some sort of reference to something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I just don't really get a warning anymore ever since they removed enough of it, you know.
It's all good, man.
Quite alright. Anyways, we have captured a kobold, and now he's going to lead us possibly to the chamber of this so-called god.
So, unfortunately, you have intimidated this kobold to the point where, like, he's not really leading you so much as, like, he's huddling in fear.
Yeah,
Well, Rasilis is still holding him, so he's kind of curled up in fear.
yeah, but we still have a prisoner of war.
I'm
Oh,
not
you
sure
have
how-
him. That's not being disputed.
I'm not sure how loyal kobolds are to each other that they care that we have one of theirs. Okay. But who knows? Perhaps it'd be of use.
Yes.
Oh,
So, is the log still blocking the way?
Yeah, there's a pile of logs in the way to the north.
Do you think Soggy can blast use his Eldritch Blast to blast the logs away?
No. I think that it would take a lot of Eldritch blasting that would make a lot of noise.
So we should probably climb over it.
There's no climbing over it. It like almost completely blocks the whole chamber.
Oh. Let us find another way.
Yes. Seems to be
Rasilla
it.
says, I can move logs.
But you'll be moving it for quite some time, though, Rasilis.
Probably a short rest's worth.
So short rest?
I mean, if Rasilis really wants to, he can. But
No, I was just playing the
Yeah.
character.
I say we keep trying to press on, see if we can't find another way around. So that would be best. Is this like a ledge right here along this line?
Yeah, you have to climb up it, but like it's not so difficult that I'm going to make you
Okay.
guys roll for it.
Okay, I was just making sure. Yeah. Seems like there might be a couple paths down this way, doesn't there? Or at least this, the one.
Let's make a perception check for traps. Any traps?
Good idea, Soggy. Now you get to roll investigate if you want.
I rolled a 21.
I'm gonna roll.
You spot a loose rope kind of blending in with the rest of the ground laid across.
Oh, there is rope here. We should avoid it. Yes.
Yes, quite right. Is it possible to avoid it at all, or does it disarmed it?
It's just a rope laying across the
Okay.
ground as far as you can see right now.
As far as we can see. I think I'm gonna do a full-on investigation, see if I can't figure out more, just to be on the safe side of things. That's pretty good.
You take a look at it and recognizing some of the traps that you've dealt with as a scout for the army, you know that this is a marker rope, that the next 10 feet are breakaway ground that falls into a pit trap.
Yeah, this would not be recommended to try and traverse. It'll break away and fall. That would not be recommended.
But the other one is filled with logs.
I'm aware. They really wanted to make sure we were trapped in here.
I thought you guys would get here last session, so that's why I named it It's a Trap.
Well, depends on what we want to do. Do we want to just take a short route? See about Rasilis moving some of these logs and everything?
Maybe
I
get
can
one of
jump
those-
it.
You can jump the 10 feet.
I can throw Soggy.
Soggy sort of like gives a nervous glance, sort of like uncertain about that. Just we need to make a bridge. Maybe use log? Kind of like pointing to.
I can grab a log. I mean, there's logs all throughout here. You know, that's not just uh the ones
Right
blocking the
there.
path. There's other logs, so like, you know, he could go grab one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
create a bridge.
Yes, a nice slippery algae covered wet log bridge.
It's better than
Made of a
Strand,
few logs.
I can assist Rasilis with moving logs.
Okay, so Soggy's gonna keep an eye on the kobold.
Yep. Soggy's keeping an eye on the kobold.
All right,
As
so Rasilis sets him down and says, "What are you gonna do? Grab him?"
he gave something like that. As he sort of like glares at the kobold, making sure he doesn't move. And probably because he's fearing for his life, he's just huddling.
Yeah, he is. Let's grab this one. It's like 25 feet long.
Yes, that should be plenty long enough.
He does the heavy lifting and starts to drag it out and just needs you to kind of help the back end keep moving. So you get to roll a strength check with advantage because he's giving you advantage.
Just straight strength. I can't do athletics.
Yeah. Well, no, you can do athletics, sure. It's
Okay.
it's a deadlift, yeah. Well, you didn't really need the advantage, but yay advantage. I set the difficulty class at
Nice.
15. So you just
Oh.
failed, which means that you were able to lift it slightly, but then you like had to drop it right away, but you can try again with advantage. So you didn't fail by enough to where you just can't do it. It slipped out of your hands.
All right then.
Come on,
well.
elf. I believe in you. Girl power.
I'm not a woman. Proceeds to slip.
You start to laugh at the inside joke with Rasilis and slip again, but I'm gonna allow you to try again. If you fail by 3 or more, though, you can't try again. So if you get
Yes.
less than a 12, you're out.
I'm gonna see about just trying to maybe wipe off my hands a little bit. That way they're not quite so slick off the bat.
There
And
you
then
go.
going at it again.
Rasilis respectfully keeps his quiet as you put your elven back into it and lift the log up out of the water, barely, but managing to carry it enough to where Rasilis can do the heavy lifting and get it to where you guys need it. However, as you guys are walking, I forgot about this part. Soggy, roll for perception. You fail to notice as the kobold reaches into one of his pouches and pulls out a weird, like, glowing, not like brightly, but like, bioluminescent powder that he blows in your face. Make a dexterity save.
not a constitution.
No, it's to try to avoid it. If it gets on you, there is no constitution that's going to help you. All right, so you fail to avoid as the powder gets into your eyes and completely dazzles and blinds you. You cannot see, but you hear as the kobold runs away screaming.
I imagine, but what about my familiar?
What about him?
I imagine he tries to stop him.
No. Your familiar is not a combatant like that. He's not going to try to stop the kobold.
About to say, can't you see through your familiar, or does it not work like? Fine,
Doesn't work like that.
doesn't work like that. Okay.
So you guys arrive back, and Soggy is scratching at his eyes that are like burning, and there's no kobold. Well, there's no other kobold. There is one kobold.
Sorry, where'd the other kobold go?
Sand. He sort of just like is just. Fortunately, he just spits out some water and he sort of clears off the glowing bioluminescent powder of his.
It'll give you an advantage on your next save, but that's about it.
What?
It'll give you an advantage on your next save, but that's about it. Right now, the powder just continues to burn and sting at your eyes, no matter what you do.
Powder is hurting. Powder is hurting.
So let's get this into position real quick, or if you can get into position, go for it. While I see about tending to Soggy.
All right, so Rasilis manages to like drag and push the log into position while you guys do that. As he's setting it down, the ground below it does crumble away from the log hitting it, and you guys can see the 10-foot pit is filled with spikes that appear to be covered in some kind of poisonous substance.
That would not have been fun to go see about.
Toasty!
Right.
So, yeah, what do you guys do here?
Ellen's kneeling down, trying to think about what he can do. Soggy, can you?
Go ahead and roll a medicine check to see like what you know about all of this.
Medicine checks have been all right at helping people to stabilize. Not great at knowing things.
Yeah,
though.
so you look and you can tell that there's something in his eyes. You can see it, but you've never seen it before.
I'm sorry, it's like I don't know enough of what this is to know how to necessarily help.
Right, and it could be like Fight Club where if you put the wrong thing on, it'll just make it worse.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to risk causing any sort of further damage. So I guess we're just gonna. Best thing would be to wait for now.
We're just gonna have to shoot you and turn you into glue.
Elwin's already knocking an arrow.
Hey,
It's okay, boy.
Soggy is fine. Just need to get good footing, and he just trips over. He's just
Sorry.
like Velma. It's like Daphne. with
Yeah,
his gl-
yeah, when she loses her glasses, totally. And yeah, Velma.
Soggy, just sit down. Okay, just rest for a bit. We can. I'd rather you be in an all right. I'd rather you be able to see than for us to try rushing along.
Okay.
So throughout the course of that, you know have had enough time pass. It's been like a minute. So you go ahead and roll your saving throw, Constitution this time with advantage because you tried to wash it out with water, which fortunately did not make it worse. I might have spoke too soon. The salt water apparently activated the chemical ingredient in there that burns, and the pain has worsened to the point that you are now like no longer capable of being calm about this. Like it is like, oh my God, are my eyes melting out of my head? Elwin, you can see that although they are definitely irritated, like he's not like, permanently damaged as far as you can tell. Like it's too early to tell how bad the damage is, but like it looks like it's just an irritation, not like acid where it's burning his eyes out or anything.
Well,
Is
it
he going to
sounds like
do another medicine roll?
He doesn't know where to begin.
yeah, I can't. Like Ellen's smart, but he's not. He only knows basic medicine from his time as a soldier, just enough to be able to field dress something and make sure you don't die. Not necessarily to make sure you don't lose a limb or something.
Right, you
Unfortunately.
break a bone, he can set it. You get cut, he can like cauterize it or disinfect it, but you got chemicals in your eyes. He's like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah. Like I could do some basic stitch work as well, more than likely. Like, it's not gonna be fancy or
Oh,
anything,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I forgot
So,
about that. Yeah.
what do we do now? Do I do another Constitution saving
After another minute, yeah. Go ahead.
with advantage or not?
No, no. This time it's with disadvantage. The salt water made it worse. And so everything just seems to be going against you, and the whole like ordeal is starting to take a psychological toll. You are like in so much pain that you start to have visions, and in these visions you see floods of waters rising up over shores and crushing cities.
He's sort of like, what? Will nothing wash this pain from my eyes? He's just
Rasillus
screaming.
asks Elwyn if he should knock him out.
uh, let's give it another minute, and then if it's still hurting him, then I feel it'd be best if he was unconscious, so he didn't have to. Maybe it'll disappear after some time, or anything.
All right, so now you roll a normal Constitution save. And unfortunately, the pain has become so intense that your eyes are now temporarily blind. 3 failed saves in a row means that you are temporarily blind.
So this, can you see about making sure he doesn't? Hopefully,
Yeah, Rasillus knows a lizard folk neck pinch technique that allows him to knock him out.
a convenient neck pinch technique. I wonder where that came from.
Hey, convenience is convenient.
So, do you think we should take a short rest because of
Well, I mean, dang, gonna just drag you along, I don't think, but like that's on them to decide. I don't know what Elwyn wants to do, and Rasillus is pretty much gonna do whatever he says. So
Ellen's going to rest a while. He just didn't want Soggy necessarily to just suffer in pain for like a good while just laying there. You know?
oh, I forgot to mention that the neck pinch causes them to kind of like stiffen up in weird like positions like a boxer when they get knocked out. So like his legs are like kind of like stretched out, locked, in a weird awkward position, and his tail is all like sticking straight out, so there's no like easy way to lay him down.
Well, this is unfortunate.
It's fine. Like, he's just like stiff.
Well,
Priscilla says he'll be all right.
Hopefully.
My familiar just falls behind. Just
Well, we're taking a short rest. I'd rather not move you and you wake up and all of a sudden and just still in pain, you know? Because that would not be good for anyone involved there.
yeah.
So I can go ahead and hit the short rest then.
Yeah, Rasilis goes ahead and takes a hit dice back.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend dice myself. And I know you mentioned last session something along the lines of being able to attune to the armor I
Yeah, but you
get.
need 24 hours.
Oh, it's a full 24 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long attunement. Okay.
That's really good armor.
It's was it made by Hammer?
It was, yeah.
Was it hand? No, it was hand axe.
Yeah, hand axe brand armor. It's not full plate if it's not a hand axe. So, anyway, Rasilis and Elwin get to spend hit dice. Soggy, you can spend one hit dice, but you don't benefit from the short rest as far as your spell slots. But I don't think you spent one. Oh, does Thunderwave cost one?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so yeah, you're down one spell slot. All right. So you guys wake up and Soggy, you get one Constitution save, normal, to determine whether you are temporarily blinded for 1 hour or 1 day.
So how do I? So do I make a Constitution?
Yep. At normal. All right. So you are blinded for 1 hour, which you just spent unconscious. So you wake up and your eyes are much recovered. You are still hazy though, so you will not be able to benefit from your advantage due to your pack tactics in dark vision.
Luckily, he doesn't have to suffer from disadvantage though either.
Right. Yeah, normally it would be disadvantage, but because he would have advantage, it's just normal.
Yeah. Well, luckily, so there's no light, so it is just normal.
Exactly. So no matter what, he's attacking at normal, but just not advantage.
Yeah. It's better than disadvantage.
Okay, so crossing the log takes a dexterity check, unskilled, or acrobatics.
Well, we all know Elwin's gonna do some acrobatics.
Oh no! So Elwin and Soggy gracefully cross the log, but as Rasilis's heavy lizard folk body crosses the rotting log, it breaks beneath him and he goes plunging down to the spikes below.
No, Rasilis.
Can I summon a Grasp of the Deep to save him?
I will allow you to roll a dexterity check. Oh, you did a dexterity saving throw, Soggy, but you still made it, so I'm going to allow it. But you got to do a dexterity check to see how quickly you can react. Basically, you're rolling for initiative to see how quickly you can react.
So custom dex.
Yep. The unskilled dex check. There you go. All right. So as you cast your spell, the tentacle grasps out, but because it's spectral it's unable to hold him. It is going to lessen the damage, though. He still ends up taking 15 piercing damage, and he has to save versus poison. Which he fails and takes some poison damage. Knocking him into dying.
Oh no. This is not how Racillus would want to go out.
Yes. Let's
It's
save Racillus.
it's ignoble. It's definitely not a warrior's death, but you know, it's a 20-foot drop, or no, I'm sorry, 40-foot drop down, and it's covered in spikes with poison. So
That's true enough. I'm on the other side.
oh no, it's only 20 feet. I'm sorry.
20 feet.
Yeah, but it's the spikes that are the problem. Like you land on the
Yeah,
spikes, you know.
That's true enough. That's gonna be a consistent problem.
So like, you know, it's not a big deal if you guys leave him to die. It's not like the most noble thing you would have ever done in your lives, but at the same time, like he's pierced up and poisoned.
I don't really have any way of.
But I think you can. I think it would be a medicine check.
Yeah, you can try and save him. I mean, you know, I'm not saying you can't try and save him. I'm just saying like not trying to save him is not going to count as evil per se.
Soggy's going to try and do a medicine check. Can Elwin assist?
I mean, we don't really have a way of getting down there either. It's 20 feet down. That's another issue. I don't have any rope to get down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I'm not role playing him at the bottom of the pit, being like, oh, you know, like I don't want there to be any tugging of any heartstrings and everything here. Like, you know, we can
I got
move
one.
on, or we can do what you guys want to do.
Like, Elwin wants to help him, but he doesn't have a way of getting down there to help him.
Oh, I can tell you both would like to help him if you could, but that's why I'm making it clear that we don't need to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out how to do something that isn't necessarily even feasible at this point.
Right.
That being said, I'm not going to stop you either. Like, you know. I realize he was a good ally, but you
know. So, should we? What should we do?
I mean, if you got some rope, we can try to go down there, but otherwise, we just got to keep going forward.
You can Eldritch Blast him, put him out of his misery.
I mean, it's more noble than dying to.
Soggy is not really all that excited in killing someone.
No, but
like that.
Like he's just gonna bleed out and die of poison in a couple rounds anyway. Like you can let him die for the next 20 seconds, or you can kill him.
Sort of, he turns to Elwin. Soggy turns to Elwin and says, "Could you do it, Soggy?" Soggy is not comfortable. Soggy is not comfortable. He sort of gives a sort of scared look expression on his face and is just sort of just muttering that. So,
Oh, sure, Soggy gets to keep his moral high ground, but Elwyn gets to be the executioner. See how it is.
Sure, Soggy. You go on along, I'll take care of this.
I imagine, but I
And
imagine.
then Elwyn
done it before.
spits down on him, and he's like, "Who's the woman now?" and walks away.
Oh, man.
I mean, not
Yeah.
really, obviously,
Yeah,
but
really, but that's funny though. Yeah.
so I'm only making you roll so that it subtracts your arrow. Oh,
Yeah.
and also like it could be funny if you like roll a 1 or something. Okay, yeah. you strike him directly in the heart, killing him instantly, and for a brief moment he wakes up and just kind of gives you the creepy lizard folk smile, letting you know that thank you.
I give him a brief nod before I see the life fade.
Soggy's just sort of like in a weeping state as he's just because he actually did care about this.
Oh,
He
for
did
sure.
actually care.
That's obvious. We can tell that you guys, you wouldn't have tried to figure out how to save him and then like put him out of his misery, wasting an arrow, as Elwyn already pointed out that he's 50% down already.
Yeah.
You guys get bonus role playing credit for trying to help an NPC like that, because a lot of players will just use the NPCs as meat shields and murder hobo them and all of that, and you guys cared, and it shows, and I'm definitely going to incorporate that into the story moving forward.
As Soggy is weeping, Elwyn's going to kneel down and to Soggy. Soggy, it'll be all right. He is gone on to whatever he believed in for his afterlife, and he got a more noble death than simply dying on some spikes.
They believe that they become undead death warriors for the dragon Falazure. Like part of his great dragon army that will take over the world and extinguish all life one day.
But that could mean different things, because even the apocalypse has different definitions.
Oh yeah, for them it's like a reward. It's like once everybody's dead, like everybody's reunited again and like part of the same collective. Join the dark dimension. We're all one here. Come on, like good deal?
You guys got cookies?
That's the other dark
Anyways,
side.
Let's do a stuff.
Do like a submarine maneuver. Unfortunately, Soggy is so distraught by the passing of Rasilis, and Elwyn is so shook up by having had to put an arrow through the heart of an ally who he has spent the last several days partying and hunting with. And you guys are just kind of like walking along like, are you crying? No, I got swamp water in my eyes. You're the one who's crying.
Anyways.
One on that.
That's like exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening, no doubt.
And because of it, you fail to notice a giant frog who first spots Soggy, who is kind of running up ahead. No, get back up there, Soggy.
I was right here.
I saw where you were.
I meant to put it right here.
Okay. But Elwin was still a little bit back. And
A
so
little bit further.
a little bit back. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
So the giant frog spots Soggy and leaps forward to try and get him with his sticky tongue.
Initiative? So initiative?
Yeah, but it's a surprise round, so he gets to move first. He gets to do what he's doing. All right, so even though it says you go first, it's actually the giant frog's turn, and then you guys will go. Nom 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 nom.
Yummy. Sorry.
Ah, but Soggy, even in the midst of his commiserating with Elwin about the passing of Rasilis, manages to spin to the side as the giant tongue comes whipping out towards him. The frog is humiliated.
It is humiliated. The only way to
Let me guess. I can't do anything else but disengage. I have to disengage if I have to walk away.
Otherwise, you'll be taking disadvantage if you try to make a ranged attack.
Yeah. So I have to disengage and hide behind El.
It's probably the smart play, but I wouldn't say that that's the only thing that you can do. Like you can do other things, but you would be at disadvantage with a ranged attack.
Yeah. Soggy's gonna hide.
Elwin, will you take care of this too?
Elwin's going to draw his sword as he's at 50% on arrows, and it's going to be that broken sword, but scimitar does the same amount of damage right now. So
Right, meow.
meow.
So you slice at the frog with your scimitar and or your broken sword. I'm sorry, it's a broken longsword.
It would, yeah, one of those lines.
Yeah. So you swing at it, and the heavy part of the blade strikes the frog right in the shoulder, and it starts to bleed, but not like bleeding damage bleed.
Right. End of the turn.
And the frog's just like not loving it. He's like, what the hell, man?
It's like ba da ba ba ba. I'm not loving this.
Yeah. Huh. Let me see if I can get the sound playing here.
Maybe.
Doesn't look like it. Oh well. Something's lagging on their end. So the giant frog attempts to bite you.
That misses.
Yeah, just barely, huh?
Yeah, the new armor's coming in clutch.
Yeah. So the tongue hits your armor but is unable to do anything. So
Soggy sort of glares at the frog and just says, "Not today, Froggy Frog!" and casts an Eldritch Blast.
all right, but remember that because it's in melee, it's gonna have cover from your ally.
So where should I
There you
go?
go.
And it will be at advantage, right?
Nope, because of your eyes.
Huh?
Your eyes, you're still hazy. You have disadvantage, but because you would have advantage, it's all just normal. angry at the frog for attacking him and still reeling from all of the trauma of getting his eyes burned and having Racillus die, and just you're just so upset that you channel a huge powerful beam of crackling energy that strikes the frog and blows him to pieces. There's charred frog legs and just a charred frog torso, just all like kind of scattered.
Well, quite messy this is, ain't it? Onward, I suppose.
You can hear the buzzing of a swarm of insects up ahead, but as you round the corner, you see that this appears to be a dead end. But the
Would
kobold
appear-
came this way.
Odd. I'm going to go over here and see if I can't see any like
Investigation?
tracks or anything. Well, I'm looking for tracks more like, because the kobold probably would have left tracks.
You don't see
Did you know
tracks here.
Stargaze has advantage in investigation?
Yes, but with your eyes foggy, it's gonna be hard to do much of that.
You said there weren't. I didn't see any tracks in here already.
No tracks over here in this area. He appears to have moved through the water because you don't see any tracks.
Don't even see any tracks over here either.
No.
Okay, so that means we gotta keep pressing on this direction.
Should we take a long rest so to clear out my blurry, hazy eye?
I mean, we only get one long rest per 24 hours.
Right. And it hasn't been 24 hours since you last attempted your long rest, but you didn't get the full benefits of it, so you can still take one, but then, you know, if you guys run into something else, you won't be able to long rest for 24 hours after that.
I mean, we can always attempt to.
Let's save it for now. First, we need to find the whole
Right.
Give me just one more minute, guys, and then we'll press on.
Okay.
What? What did you say?
He said he just wanted one more minute before we press on.
Okay.
Okay, so are you guys gonna just press on then forward up the path there?
Yeah, we're gonna press on. That way, once we take the long rest, we we won't. It won't. We will have have dealt a major threat.
Okay, so the swarm of insects is not a huge challenge, and if you guys light a torch and pour some of your scented oil that Donovan would have left you with, like as a way of like blessing you, if you pour some of that on there, it works kind of like citronella.
Bug repellent.
Yeah. And so the swarm of insects is not a huge threat. And so you guys can get up in there and do an investigation check.
Alrighty. That is exactly what I'll do. My investigations are pretty good today.
Yeah, so you discover that there is a tunnel that you have to swim through. And are you guys going to swim through it?
Yep.
All right.
Soggy.
So Soggy, roll for stealth.
I suppose we are.
Well, he can go ahead because he can
Mhm.
like swim a little bit better, so he can scout a little.
Right.
All right, so Soggy, you pop up in a chamber, and what you see before you is a large black dragon surrounded by his kobold followers. And because this is a legendary boss fight, we're going to pause right here. I expected you guys to fight the rest of the kobolds first, not jump straight to the dragon. But because you discovered the secret passage by getting the kobold to run away, now you guys pop up directly at the end boss chamber. So in order to get the combat all set up, I'm going to take this week and get it all prepared, and we will pick up next week.
And don't forget about getting prepared, the stuff you promised. The
You're fighting a
bonus.
black dragon. Just trust that I have this. So so
Yeah.
you guys are gonna be facing the black dragon, but Soggy, you have been spotted. So we're gonna pick up with you basically in a bad position, and Elwyn, you're gonna have to decide whether you immediately chase after him or whether you wait for him to come back or what's gonna happen. So we're going to pick up next week in this precarious position with Soggy being spotted by a black dragon and his kobold army, and Elwyn on the other side of an underwater tunnel.
Quite right.
And if Donovan's back, we'll have a reason for him to have come back. So we'll deal with that. But
Divine.
yeah,
Divine dreams have.
or maybe
Yeah,
even
something like this.
maybe even we could pick up a new player who happens to have been captured by the dragon or something like that too. So we'll see what happens, but we're gonna pick up next week. It's a bit of an early session, but I'm also having some digestion issues as well, so it's probably best if we just call it a night here and give me the time needed to prepare the combat properly, and then we'll have the legendary boss battle and then wrap up after that.
Alright, sounds good.
All right, you guys have a great night, and as always, good gaming.
Can we talk